Well, if you confuse people sexually, you have confused them about everything. I mean, everything else is just all over the place because there's no central focus. You almost lose your reason for being, or lose who you are once you become confused about what your sexual motivations are and why. And the white supremacists understand this. Now, there are 9 areas of activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. Now, sex is the second greatest motivating factor among the people of the planet as we speak right now. So what is the first? The first is the system of white supremacy itself. Racism and sex. That motivates people to do whatever they're doing, wherever they are. You're either engaging in something that is racial or you're engaging in something sexual all of the time, even if you're just thinking about it. You're thinking about race or you're thinking about sex because you're required to, either directly or indirectly. Why? These are the dominating, motivating forces for the people of the planet 24/7. People are either planning on engaging in some type of sexual activity. All the songs are geared that way. The books, I think there's a book out now that's real popular. I understand. I haven't read it. I don't even understand what the content of it is very much, but I understand one of the best-selling books out right now is a book called 50 Shades of Grey, or something like that.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it's about sex.
About sex.
Yes, you turn on your television, it's all about, whether you're looking at, regardless of what program you're looking at, it's going to be about sex. It's going to be about sex. Everything is about sex, some facet of it. And so that is a great motivating force. People get very excited about it. Even when they are not involved in it directly themselves, they are reacting to someone who is. It becomes a great motivating force. I mean, in other words, if a person is a racist and then a person centers on, that is, a white supremacist decides that they're going to approach black people from a sexual viewpoint, they always have in mind now this domination and mistreatment. How can I best express, because they're already dominating, so how can I best express my domination through the area of sex? And when I express that domination, I'm always trying to confuse them, and I'm always trying to debase them. I'm always trying to have their minds just going in all kind of different directions so that nothing they do makes sense. And they enjoy that. And so they know that sex is a very powerful, motivating force. And so that's what they're always trying to experiment with. What can I do? Can I come up with some new way of confusing this person, of expressing my domination over the person? Because I'm not happy if I'm not doing that. That's the mind of a white supremacist. If they are not doing something with a non-white person sexually that's going to express their domination over that non-white person and confusing that non-white person and having that non-white person just do anything that they think that might wind up being non-constructive, then they are not happy. They don't even want to breathe. They don't see any reason for even being here or for anybody else being here. And not only here, but any place else. It's just a mind of the way that a white supremacist thinks. This is very important. And they know how strong the motivating force of sex is. This is when they come among non-white people. One of the first things they do is start sexual confusion. And right now they're doing it all over the world by obliterating the genders among non-white people. They're saying gender doesn't matter. There's no such thing as gender. That's your imagination. There's no difference between a male and a female. There's no difference between, you might even say, walking on your feet and walking on your hands. It's all the same. Even though you're looking at people do something that seems to be different, people usually walk on their feet. rather than their hands. But they'll say, oh, no, that's just illusion. I mean, after all, look at the hand. Look at the feet. They're really the same. Doesn't make any difference. And so, therefore, when you look at the genders, there's really no difference. This gender thing is something that somebody made up a long time ago, and we got to stop that nonsense. That is the talk that the races are doing right now. Everything is everything, and everything is nothing.
Yeah,
that's what they're really saying. And and when you say that, what you're doing is really confusing people. See, the key word here is how can you confuse the person? Because when you confuse people ad infinitum, you can dominate them ad infinitum. If you have 10 people in a room and you have one person out of that 10 who's not confused about anything, and everybody else, the other 9, is confused about everything, you can dominate those 9 people forever.